Hello and welcome back to Great British Biking Adventures. If you're new here, and even if you're not, be prepared for something perhaps a little bit different. Grab a drink, sit back, relax and enjoy the ride. As many of you will know, in this series we're travelling the coastline of England and Wales on our Honda VFR1200X Crosstourer. Whereas the last few episodes have been somewhat dramatic, in this episode we chill out and take in the stunning scenery while experiencing some of Britain's best coast roads. In the last episode we left Barmouth and now we're making our way down the west coast of Wales. To our right is the glorious Cardigan Bay and the southern end of the Irish Sea where it meets the Atlantic Ocean. Having navigated various islands, peninsulas and estuaries, we have a fairly straight run ahead of us today, apart from the estuary at the River Dovey. There's some lovely places on the way, but I sense this episode will be less information and more about the ride, so we thought we'd take the opportunity to tell you a little more about this adventure of ours. Our old Honda Blackbird was getting a bit tired and we'd been on the lookout for a replacement for a while. We decided to go for the motorcycle equivalent of an SUV, an adventure bike. Okay, so the Crosstourer is no KTM, but for what we need, it's ideal. It's best described as a hybrid between a sports tourer and an adventure bike. It has what is likely to be the last of Honda's awesome V4 engines that has a proud lineage. Some say the V4 makes the ideal motorcycle engine, and yet there are only a few that have been developed. Until Ducati finally accepted the limitations of a V-twin, the only modern bike you could buy with a V4 was a Honda. Apart from some rare curiosities, I think there's only one other make that has mass-produced a V4 model. Yamaha used a V4 engine in their Venture and VMAX models. Where were we? Ah yes, several bikes were on our shortlist, including offerings from KTM, Suzuki, Triumph, Yamaha, Kawasaki and even BMW. One of the things that swayed us towards the Honda was the DCT automatic transmission. We'd never had DCT before and now I don't think we could ever go back, especially for all-day riding. Anyway, 2 weeks after picking up the Crosstourer, there was a glimmer of sunshine breaking through the February clouds and we were off. It was fairly impulsive. We thought we'd take a ride down the coast, and if we ended up staying out overnight, so be it. We ended up staying out 2 nights. We didn't really do those early days justice, especially the first day. When we get to the end, we're going to do that first section again. We still feel bad about missing Ilfracombe. A couple of episodes ago, we met Ashley, the first and only other motorcyclist doing the same. Our paths crossed in Barmouth. We spoke about the challenges of taking as much in as possible while still making progress. The bottom line is, had we ventured down to every coastal nook and cranny, we would still be somewhere on the east coast now. Ashley was more pragmatic than us and explained how unless there was something particularly significant, he avoided dead ends. We have included many dead ends and even sought out byways. Consequently, much of our journey has been on unclassified roads. These narrow winding lanes absorb a lot of time, and it's not been unusual for us to be riding for 10 hours a day. We've even had a couple of days that have gone over 12 hours. For accommodation, we've done a variety of B&Bs, guest houses, hotels and even camping. We rarely book ahead because we quickly realised it's nigh on impossible to predict the journey times. We get to about 4 PM and start thinking about where to stay. Sometimes we'll put in somewhere early, but we've had a few late days. We've got caught out a couple of times and found it difficult to find somewhere, but on balance, we prefer to keep our options open. That way, occasionally we find a real gem, as we did this day. But that tells on oncoming trains the barriers are open, and it can say, hang on, that red light just always will flash if those barriers are open. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
I presume that just goes to the beach.
Well, perhaps we better have a look.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Let's go for it.
Goes here, doesn't it, to this
holiday camp?
Yes, static park.
Oh, very nice.
Well, I think they may have a colour code.
A colour code?
Well, like a dress code. I think they have a colour code rule for the caravans, for the mobile homes.
Oh,
you're not
yeah,
noticed?
I just see brown, green. Yeah.
They're all
white. Yeah.
Really? They're all green for all I can see.
Oh no, they're brown on the right. There's some white one. Ooh.
As you can imagine, we found some stunning coast roads. Every time we had a reasonable stretch of tarmac, we were elated. However, I think we may have to concede the prize of the best way to travel the coast to the train. There are significant stretches of coastal railways, especially down the west coast. As well as the amazing coastal section between Llywelyn and Aberystwyth, the Cambrian line straddles Wales, taking in some wonderful countryside. If that's not enough to tempt you on this panoramic feast, then there's also an opportunity to connect with not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, but 6 heritage railways on the journey. You can leave your car at Shrewsbury, pack a posh lunch and immerse yourself in the experience.
Is that old Butlins to the left?
Wow.
Army barracks.
Yeah, I would say it's more military.
We've done the trip in stages. Like Jared said, we stayed out 2 nights on that first stage. A couple of weeks later we returned to where we left off and did another 3 days before returning home. We had got as far as Weymouth and now needed to ramp it up. We couldn't keep coming home every 3 days. So for the 3rd stage we packed the bike with camping gear and set off to see how far we could get in 10 days. We did really well, which I put down to waking up in the tent early on those chilly April mornings. We got all the way round the south coast in Kent, crossed the Thames and made it as far as the Wash in Lincolnshire before coming home. By now we were committed. But what about the YouTube thing, I hear you say? The filming is primarily so we have something to look back on. The YouTube series was secondary, but has become the motivation to record the journey properly rather than have hundreds of separate clips. Of course, we've done a bit more than had we done it just for ourselves, because we wanted to try to make it engaging for you to watch. We've said it before, but we really were video camera and YouTube novices. It's been a very steep learning curve, but it has been fun. I'm not saying we're perfect, but with practice hopefully we've got better. Looking back at episode 1, we have to chuckle. Finally, it's been great seeing the channel grow and getting to know our regular viewers through the comments. We know a lot of you watch on TV where it's difficult to leave comments, but as we always say, it would be great to hear from you.
If you will be kind to me, I'll be kind as you shall see. Ding dong, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Say the bells of Aberdovey. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Ding dong, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Say the bells of Aberdovey.
There are several stories about the bells of Aberdovey. They mostly follow the same theme. There was once a rich kingdom of towns and villages on a low-lying, fertile plain just offshore from here. One day, a great catastrophe struck. Some say because of sluice gates left open. Others blame a fairy for allowing a well to overflow, while others say it was caused by a drowning giant. Whatever happened, the land was consumed by the sea, never to be seen again. All versions of the legend agree that if you listen carefully, particularly on a quiet night, a Sunday morning, or in times of danger, the bells can still be heard from Aberdovey, ringing under the sea. The legend inspired a well-known song. Although embraced by the Welsh, the song first appeared in the English opera Liberty Hall in 1785 and is not thought to be a traditional folk song, as Welsh lyrics weren't written until the 19th century.
If you will be kind to me, I'll be kind as you shall see. Ding dong, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Say the bells of Aberdovey.
Well, we've taken a long trip inland. I say a long trip, what is it, about 7-8 miles to get across this river
Yeah.
at Mackinilleth. Can't say it.
It's a difficult one, isn't it?
There it is. Mackinilleth.
McKinley.
Anyway, we're here along with everybody else because this is the first crossing point from the sea, and I think it's probably been here a while, this bridge. Lovely.
Very lovely. Or as the Welsh would say, there's lovely.
There's lovely.
This is Morfa Borth, or just Borth. Morfa is the Welsh word for reclaimed land. When researching and writing scripts for these videos, I often say I could say more, to indicate I've just picked out a few snippets of information, but I really couldn't find anything more to say than you can't see for yourselves. It's not just me, it seems even Wikipedia has struggled to provide any more than I've already said. So I was going to say it has the shortest Wikipedia entry of any town in the UK, and then no sooner had we left Borth behind we entered Glanowern. Well, what I can tell you is that it has the shortest Wikipedia entry of any town in the UK. I'm sure both are lovely places to visit and live, but it seems we, and now you, have experienced all there is. Sorry Borth and Glanowern, I'm sure you'll let us know in the comments what, if anything, I missed.
Lovely coastline, isn't it?
Oh, it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
So we went exploring up a hill, hoping that it would carry on around the corner, but it didn't. So we've had to do a U-turn. Off we go again.
Off we go again.